5 brand new clips and 4 new leaked photos from Squid Game Season 3 just dropped, and I've got the full footage plus a breakdown of everything for those of you that are thirsty for new Squid Game Season 3 info. Starting with a crazy clip of our favorite players, Myung-gi and Jun-hee. The scene takes place in Episode 1, moments before the keys and knives game begins. Myung-gi is seen quietly approaching Jun-hee. Sadly, they've just been assigned to opposite teams. But something's off. What happens next? A quick exchange, subtle but impactful. Juni's vest changes color, red to blue. It's a switch. And it's likely the only reason she's still alive. Because let's be real, in her current state, Jun-hee wouldn't last 2 minutes on the red team. She's just far too weak and too vulnerable, an easy target for the blue team. So Myung-gi swaps with her, putting himself at risk to buy her a fighting chance. And it's working, so far. Blue teammates like Gumja and Hyunju are keeping her safe. Now, a lot of fans are speculating that players can also switch teams mid-game, but I don't think that's the case. Here's why. We've seen Jun-hee pick the red ball. We've seen her wearing the red vest, but we've never seen her playing in it. Every maze game shot shows her in blue. The switch happened before the game. Quiet, strategic, and possibly life-saving. But here's where it gets even more interesting. In that same clip, Myung-gi says something dark. He'd kill anyone to protect his ex-girlfriend, their baby, and the prize. That not only shows a different side of Myung-gi, it also tells us something dangerous. Myung-gi isn't just being kind. He's playing to win, and he's willing to go full savage to do it. And I don't think he's lying either. As in Season 2, we've seen that Myung-gi is indeed capable of taking out another player when need be. In a recent interview, Im Si-won, Myung-gi's actor, reveals that Myung-gi is torn. He's still hungry for the prize money, but also genuinely in love. And it shows. He's also chasing family, survival, and maybe redemption. But here's the catch. Even if they make it out alive without the money, their problems don't just end. Myung-gi's drowning in debt. He's got enemies waiting on the outside, so every choice he makes is a gamble. One that could cost him everything. That's what makes Myung-gi the most unpredictable player this season. He's not good, but not evil either. He's complicated. And his next move? It could change everything. I wouldn't be surprised if Myung-gi ends up challenging the frontman's entire belief system. If he saves Jun-hee and the baby, not for the money, but out of love, it'll prove that someone can survive this nightmare with their humanity intact. This has sparked a wave of fan theories suggesting that Myung-gi might be heading down a much darker path, one where he sacrifices himself to protect Jun-hee. But here's the haunting twist. What if he fails? What if Jun-hee dies before he ever gets the chance to save her? That's where things take a sinister turn. Because if Jun-hee is gone, what's left to anchor Myung-gi to his humanity? What happens to a man who was willing to kill for love, only to lose the person he was trying to protect? This leads directly into a far more chilling theory. What if Myung-gi becomes the next frontman? Think about it. Myung-gi and In-ho are two sides of the same coin, both burdened by debt, both torn between love and survival. Both are willing to bend their morals to win. Myung-gi is In-ho's reflection, same scars, same impossible choices, and maybe, just maybe, the same tragic fate. Some more leaked clips has surfaced, revealing extended footage from scenes we've only seen glimpses of before. And while some moments are subtle, there's still a lot to talk about. Let's start with the first sequence. We see Gi-hun waking up from his bed, bloodstained, dazed, and clearly in pain. This picks up right after the moment where Gumja, Young-sik, and Jun-hee anxiously ask if he's okay. As Gumja helps him sit up, Gi-hun looks confused, disoriented. But then something shifts. His face tightens, his expression darkens. It's the look of someone who just remembered something important, something infuriating. Blood is still smeared across his jacket, likely from the chaos of the earlier rebellion. He doesn't say a word, but the fire in his eyes says it all. He's planning something. And if there's going to be another rebellion, who better to join him than Guard 11, No Yul? In the next 2 clips, we finally get more from her perspective. In the first, No Yul is still in uniform. Surrounded by other guards, she tears off her mask in a sharp, defiant motion. The room freezes. The other guards don't stop her, but their body language says everything. They know her reputation. They know she stepped out of line before. There's tension, uncertainty, fear. This is when we cut to the second clip, No Yul again. But this time, she's visibly shaken, breathing hard, her face bloodied or bruised, her eyes locked onto someone on the left side of the screen. That's when it clicks. This is a showdown, possibly with the frontman himself. We don't hear what's said, but from her expression, it's clear. This confrontation has been building for a long time, and now it's finally happening. So what does this mean? We may be watching the formation of a true resistance. Gi-hun, No-Yul, maybe even Junho. The pieces for a rebellion from inside the system could finally be in place. But then again, this is Squid Game. Nothing is guaranteed, and those who challenge the rules often end up paying the ultimate price. So what do you think? Now let's talk about a supposed new leak of Young-sik holding a red key. If the image is legit, it says a lot about the upcoming Keys and Knives game. Young-sik's expression isn't one of triumph or relief. It's something heavier: worry, fear, hesitation. That subtle look tells a deeper story. Because if the red key grants guaranteed access to a safe room, Young-sik's mind wouldn't be on survival. It would be on his mother, player 149, Gyum-ja, who's stuck on the opposing team. That's where this theory takes a brutal turn. Young-sik might be faced with the most heartbreaking decision of his life: secure his own safety or go back into the maze to help his mother. And if the game rules are truly as ruthless as we suspect, he may discover that only one of them can walk out alive. That moment could push him into betrayal, again, repeating the same devastating choice he's made before. But there's another possibility. What if Young-sik sacrifices himself? What if he hands the key to his mother, even if it cost him his life? While we don't know if a red team player can even use the key, this could explain that haunting shot of Gumja, her hair down, crumpled in a corner, completely devastated. She's not just crying, she looks broken, as if someone she loved just gave up everything for her. That kind of scene doesn't come from a random loss. It comes from sacrifice, from guilt, from love twisted by the game's cruelty. So what do you think? Would Young-sik choose to save himself, or would he finally do the right thing? Next, let's go over a short clip that just leaked, one that changes how we view Nam-gyu. Up until now, we've only seen that still image of him smiling, looking strangely cheerful. But in this new footage, we get the full clip. It's short, but wild. Nam-gyu isn't just smiling. He's screaming hysterically, completely unhinged, and it's honestly quite disturbing. From the way he moves and screams, one thing is pretty clear: he's high. Most likely on those infamous Thanos pills we've heard mentioned in earlier leaks. And if that's true, it explains a lot. Nam-gyu has always been portrayed as one of the most unstable and violent contestants in the game. This clip only reinforces that image. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if he goes on a rampage, targeting players from the opposing team without hesitation and completely losing his marbles. But here's what's puzzling. In Season 2, we saw that Nam-gyu only owed 300 million won. Compared to other players, that's relatively low. So why keep playing after Mingle? Why not cut his losses and walk away? There are a couple of possibilities. 1. The drugs are messing with his mind. His perception of the game, of reality, of his own motives, it could all be warped. 2. He simply has nothing left in the outside world. No family, no future, no identity beyond the chaos. In that case, the games aren't punishment. There is only purpose. Whatever the reason, it's certain that Nam-gyu is shaping up to be one of Season 3's central villains. Unpredictable, dangerous, but also terrifyingly entertaining. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he makes it to the final round. Having a completely unhinged wildcard like Nam-gyu as a finalist would throw the entire endgame into chaos and give the show a massive, unpredictable edge. Now, let's turn our attention to the 2 new posters released by Netflix that shows both the remaining Season 2 players as well as the frontman, No-Yul or Guard 11, and the frontman's guards. And there's a fascinating theory around the poster of the players, let's call it the triangle theory. The theory goes like this: if you draw a triangle starting from Gi-hun, the 2 players positioned directly beneath him represent the eventual finalists. Sounds like a stretch, right? Well, it actually checks out. In the Season 1 poster, this triangle perfectly outlined Gi-hun at the top, with Song-woo and Sae-byeok below, who, as we know, were the final 3. Now, in the newly released Season 3 poster, the same triangle formation appears with the 2 players, Myung-gi and Jun-hee, beneath Gi-hun once again. If the pattern holds, these two could be our finalists for the upcoming season. And there's yet another eerie detail that supports this theory. In both posters, to Gi-hun's immediate right stands the so-called evil player. In Season 1, it was Il-nam, the mastermind pulling the strings. In the Season 3 poster, that position is held by Young Il, the new and even more ruthless frontman. Is it merely a coincidence? Maybe. But fans think it's a deliberate visual cue. So if the triangle theory holds true again, we may have just been shown the final three without even realizing it. What do you think? Is Netflix sneakily revealing the endgame through poster placement? Or are we just reading too deep into the design? Either way, it's hard to ignore the pattern. And finally, we've been hit with yet another Squid Game Season 3 leak, this time from inside the VIP room. The scene unfolds in a decadent, dreamlike lounge soaked in dramatic blue and purple lighting, surrounded by exotic greenery, and layered with pastel-toned decor. It's lush, over the top, and undeniably tailored to excess, exactly what we've come to expect from the mysterious elite who fund the games. While not much else can be confirmed from the image alone, it raises one major question. Will we finally get answers about who the VIPs really are? Because let's not forget, Season 2 completely skipped the VIPs. Not a single appearance, not even a reference. That silence may have been intentional. It created a sense of mystery. But Season 3 might be the moment that changes. With visuals this specific and this elaborate, it's likely that we'll dive deeper into the infrastructure behind the games and the people who keep them alive for entertainment. Who are the VIPs? How did they come to power? And perhaps the most unsettling question, why do they enjoy watching people suffer so much? Thanks for watching. Subscribe right now or Gramps will win Season 3 and you wouldn't want that.